you're like me and you don't know what camera to use for photos and vlogging, this is the perfect video for you. I bought the Canon G7X Mark III, DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and the Sony ZV-E10 just so you don't have to. If you're looking to take photos primarily, I'd say go for the Canon G7X Mark III. One thing about the Canon G7X Mark III is that it's quite compact and it fits right into your pocket, or even like I like to leave my cameras into my you know, like the little pocket inside your jacket. Yeah, I like to leave them there, and it makes it easy for me to just quickly grab if I need it. Canons are also quite known for photography, so yeah, if photography is really what you're going for, I'd say go for the Canon G7X Mark III, or the 2 is also quite good. The thing is, I already have an iPhone 13 Pro Max which I'm currently using to record. However, there's just one thing about the iPhone that kind of pissed me off, is the fact that there's this auto sharpening effect that it always does after you take the photos, and there seems to be no fix from it. Like the fix that I tried was taking photos in RAW mode, and then you'd have to go onto it and then press edit and make the slightest adjustment just so you can get the same photo you took whilst taking it. But that just got so annoying to do, and also like a lot of the photos that would come out with the iPhone would just come out a little bit flat, and I wanted something a little bit more realistic, and I felt like the Canon G7X was just the perfect camera for that. I don't know, for me, whenever I'm taking photos with this, I feel like there's not as much effort needed to edit them because the cameras come out really great out of this camera alone. It has a flip-up touchscreen that flips 180 degrees upwards, which is great for selfies and also vlogging. It has a zoom range of 24 to 100 millimeters. It has a pop-up flash, and it has a USB Type-C port and an external HDMI port, and it also has an external mic 3.5mm jack for those who would like to attach their own microphone. For those who would like to use this to record as well, this camera does offer 4K quality. However, there's a caveat to that, and now we'll proceed to talking about the cons. When recording at 4K 30 frames per second, this camera does overheat and the battery life is not the best. So I wouldn't really suggest this for videos in 4K. For me personally, if I was to use this to record, I would maybe use 4K, but primarily maybe use it at 1080p because that's fine. Autofocus is not the best. I mean, I've tried it myself. It's just not the best. It takes a while to focus, and compared to like something like the Sony or like the DJI, the autofocus is not the best. There is a manual focus where you have to manually do that, but then it does become a problem when you're vlogging and you're worried about whether you're in focus or not. The thing is, Canon also did come with an update for this to fix this. However, it's been reported that the issue has not been fully fixed and the autofocus issues are still there. Some did say that you can opt for the Canon G7X Mark II instead, because apparently with that camera the autofocus is a bit better. I don't have it right now to test it with me, but that's something you can look into. Whilst I did touch upon the battery life when recording, for those who would like to use it for photography, it would typically last you about 6 hours or more, depending on, again, how much you use it. But for photography, it does definitely last longer. And lastly, this camera is quite expensive. I was able to get it because I got it with the vlogger kit, and that bumped the price up to £850. But I believe usually it's about £749, which is not cheap. So I would suggest, if you can, do get it secondhand or something like that. I was one of the lucky ones who was able to get it, because right now it's out of stock everywhere, and I was able to get it on the Argos website. Yes, I got it on the Argos website. There are other alternatives like the Sony RX100 series. That's something you can look out for. Again, if you're looking for something for photography, I'd say get this. However, if you're looking at something for better videography, I'd say you can get something like the Sony ZV-E10. As you can see, it's quite big, right? So it's definitely not as compact as the G7X or the DJI, and it definitely will not fit in my pocket of my jacket or my normal pockets. So that's already a con. This camera is marketed towards the Gen Z, and apparently that's what this Z is for. And essentially the reason why is because I think it's because of how easy it is to switch between modes. You can switch between different modes with this button: slow and quick, video and photography. And you can add background blur with this button rather than just going to change it manually on the flip-up screen. Unlike the Canon, you can rotate this 180 degrees horizontally and then 180 degrees vertically again, and you can keep it like that, whatever you want to do. However, with the screen is not touch screen, the only time it is when you tap into focus or when you're actually zooming in when you're taking a photo. It does also take 4K 30 frames per second footage and has better low light performance than the Canon, and also does not overheat as much as the Canon, though it does overheat. It has a better time recording limit, and because of the better dynamic range and video capabilities of this camera, it takes better slow-mo videos. It also has a hot shoe that you can use for attaching things like an external flash that this does not have, which is a con of this. However, you do have the possibility of ordering one and then attaching it. Let me show you what I mean. I got the Godox IM30 flash, and this allows it to, it will do the same thing. Hold on, it's loading. Yeah. It also offers interchangeable lens, which means that you can take this lens off and swap it and put another one for your liking. Therefore, I would really suggest this camera for people who would like to upgrade their equipment in the future. For photography, again, it does not have a built-in flash. However, you do have the option to get external flashes and attach them and take photos, like in the example I showed before. I don't know why you're here, but you're doing something. Talking about the cons of this camera, it does have a rolling shutter. What does this mean? This means that when you're recording, it has a bit of a slanted look to it that is genuinely not cute. And I'm not one to bash a company, but that was, it literally gave me the ick. Like, this made me, honestly, and looking at it, I was like, what? I don't give a fuck. Sony, how dare you? Literally, I spent my hard-earned cash. This is because you're here. I wouldn't be this loud and get out. But anyway, no, for real, like, it just gave me the ick, honestly. And apparently they wanted to bring out this software called Catalyst Browse, which is supposed to fix the rolling shutter issue, which is great. Honestly, it does work. I've not tried it because, again, I am not gonna go through that because that's just gonna add another layer of stress when trying to edit and having to take my footage, put it on the software, wait for it to download, then send it to my laptop. Excuse me? No. So yeah, if you're going to be using this camera to be making a lot of movements, I would not suggest this camera because, again, because of the rolling shutter, and it does offer optical stabilization. However, when it does do so, it does crop in and therefore leaving not a lot of image when vlogging, and obviously this is the only length you can like extend it to, and if my head is the only thing that's on the frame, how am I supposed to vlog? Sony? There is the other alternative, which is buying a f1.8 11mm lens, which is a prime lens, by the way, to replace this. However, that then loses the ability for you to zoom in. So to zoom in, you have to switch to the kit lens and then place it, and having to carry two lenses at a time, it just feels like it's a bit inconvenient. And that is why for sit-down videos where you're recording like a podcast, or for vlogs where you're not necessarily doing a lot of movement, I would suggest this camera. This would be the perfect camera, honestly, for that. The reason why, because it does offer great functionalities for it, like the background blur, and also because of this attachment, I am able to attach my light on it because of the hot shoe. The microphone is also quite good. It does offer, there is the fluff bit that gets added to your camera, that's for wind protection. And as reported by my sister, this one does have a nice realistic color to it. So if you're looking for that, then this is the perfect camera for you. However, if you're looking for something that you can travel with, compact, and you can make a lot of movements without having jitters in the video, then I'll definitely suggest the DJI Osmopocket 3. This is the DJI Osmopocket 3. As you can see, it's quite little. It literally is pocketable. It literally fits in your pocket, child. Like, what more do you want? Honestly, let's talk about it. What more do you want? This is not no paid partnership. This is all my money. I ain't trying to lie here. But this is so compact. Are you kidding me? This will definitely fit in my jacket pocket and it will definitely fit in my pocket. It's called Osmopocket for a reason. For those vloggers who feel a little bit anxious when recording and don't want to bring with them like a massive setup, this little thing will do the trick for you. Like, hello? let's keep going. This, honestly, I'm not trying to like do the most, but yeah, like the fact that you can take this with you and go anywhere is just, yeah, amazing. Like, yeah, in terms of compact, this is the one. For photography, it is possible for you to take a few photos. I would say like quick shots when you're out and about if you'd like, though the not me turning it on, the photo functionalities of these cameras are quite limited. For videography, the stabilization in this is insane. It is literally a camera on a gimbal, so I don't know what more you want, but it's literally two for the price of one. One special feature about this camera is that it offers active tracking, which again is great for those who don't want to have to move their camera all the time. They just want to, you know, move and then the camera will move with them, and I'll show you an example right now. Yeah, it comes with me and I don't even move the camera. I could put it down and do the same. You see how it moves? Yeah. Out of all cameras, this is the only one that records at 4K 60 frames per second. What 60 frames per second means is that when you take videos, basically your videos are a series of photos. The more photos you take, it means that the smoother the image comes. So when, let's say, you're slowing down the footage, if you have the ability of slowing down a 60 frames per second video, it will look much smoother. However, if it's only 30 frames per second, it will be smooth, but not as smooth as 60 frames per second. So that's a little bit of knowledge in terms of frames per second. Another great feature about this camera is that it offers the ability for you to switch between horizontal and vertical by swiping your fingers. How easy is that? How easy is that? Rather than getting this and having to turn it with a tripod and almost risking your camera falling down. Come on, I'm not trying to market this, but again, it's marketable. It clearly wants to be bought. One thing I noticed as well about the audio is that this also automatically reduces the noise. So if you are not really technical about buying extra equipment for it, that is a feature that this camera does offer. However, if you do get the DJI Osmopocket 3 vlogger kit, the vlogger kit does come with a microphone that syncs perfectly with its camera. This is the mic, very cutesy, very demure. It fits onto the case. You can just put that there and talk as much as you want. I want to find a way to connect this to the iPhone just to see how it does. The one con that I have about this camera is the color quality. What I mean by that is like straight out of the bat, when you do record with this, the quality does feel a little bit washed out. And it is fixable in your settings. I'll show you an example. However, I did notice that obviously that does add a little bit more steps when recording. However, it's for me, that is something I can work with. I don't know about other people, but I'd rather work with adjusting the color than adjusting my footage. And I'd also rather be able to fix the color quality than the focus quality. The other con about this camera is that it's clearly not marketed towards photographers. It does offer simple photography in terms of like taking quick shots. However, obviously it does not have a flash or the ability to add an external flash to it. However, there is the ability to add a external light, which is magnetic, that attaches to the actual camera. So that's a good thing. It does have lenses like the wide angle lens that you can attach magnetically to the lens. Well, it's not that it doesn't have zoom. It has digital zoom rather than optical zoom, where on cameras the lens is actually zooming in, whilst this is more like the actual frame photo is actually zooming in. And then lastly, sometimes because this is on a gimbal, some natural movements, this will try and digitally correct them, and so they will come out a little bit robotic. but then again, it's because it's trying to stabilize the entire essence of the video. So for me, again, those are cons that I can work with. If those are cons that you can't work with, then the perfect camera doesn't exist and you should settle. Because that is an advice that I had to learn. You know, that is some advice that I needed when looking for cameras, because there's no way someone has to buy 3 cameras for him to understand which camera he needs. But clearly I am the type of person, and I hope that this video serves you correctly in order for you to decide what camera you actually want and need for your purpose. I think in terms of like finding out what camera you need, it all depends on purpose. Because again, if you're looking at something for camera, Canon. If you're looking for Sony, if you're looking for video that you can upgrade in the future, Sony. However, if you're looking for something quick, compact, easy to travel with, not too techy, but also does great stuff, but I'm not into photography like that, then the DJI is for you. I hope this video helped you. If not, you can watch it again so you can understand what you need. Bye and good luck, honestly.